half. Sados looking for a spam, maybe a freebie to kick this off. Again, trying to piece together something in terms of fishing, trying to piece together one of these positions. Something in terms of fishing, trying to piece together one of these positions. Something in terms of fishing. NAVI might just try and stick the landing here towards B. You can see that consideration was there.
Toxins going up.
And good read from KC in terms of this early pressure, actually. Now leaving Levin posted up in a more comfortable position on C-Long. There's no confirmation on that, with Hero's position so disconnected. Back of the spam, actually Arvez lucky to be.
It looked bang on for a second there.
Still up at 97 HP.
Okay, the paranoia ready. Yeah, you can see the kind of list of this one, but Sociable might have a target to find. TP away, not going to save you. Arvez can't trade you.
Beautiful.
Sociable securing the site. Plant should be next. You're looking at the flank, but it's not really what Levin wanted there, but caught on the back pedal. Shadows going to keep it. Oh.
Sugetsu thinks it's hell, though. When
surely
the penny drops?
Yeah, there it is. Nice from Sugetsu. Man advantage and the ult invested. Ruxic and Hero, now everything's seen.
Snakebite and 2 nanos. Try and stall this out. They've taken a ton of damage.
They're walking mid. It's all seen. They know where the players are now. Ruxic! Oh, God, look at the HP left.
He went on the never-ending swing.
Some say he's still walking to the left, but 3 HP is enough. That's how close this round got, but KC kept up with a chance of converting this at 7 rounds now.
Heads up work from Sugetsu. Like I said, just catching that kill at the perfect timing. And there, Sociable have maybe just held a little deeper for information, potentially. But KC with another clutch.
Oh, a little death slam. Do you see that? I'd never.
Only they could see my face right now.
My wrist hurt.
Release the
2
logs.
days.
Release the logs.
Time out for NAVI. Yeah, please don't. If you do that, Michael, I'll stop you for your riot account.
You can't do that.
Ah, it's a threat.
But we're talking about a comeback. Just 4 rounds. The KC to find now. Looking a lot more comfortable that second half timeline.
And the big thing here is now, once we get into this territory, I do look toward coaching, right? This is the first bigger test for Angel. It's a little lighter pressure. I mean, you're at 11-7, you're still up.
And again, this is why I've said it a few times now. I'd love to know kind of the internals here for NAVI of where that balance sits, because it's big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Again, Angel, some of it's been heavily criticized, but you cannot take anything away from his understanding of FPS
game,
the game, FPS in general, and also the mind games, the psychological factor.
Take flight.
Well, it gets put to the test here, as suddenly we have a bit more of a game on our hands. Arvez waking up in the second half. Same to be said for the vast majority of KC. NAVI unable to find an easy, comfortable foot forward. Let's see what Xiao has in mind now. There is a challenger here, Levin. He's sticking on this one for now, so committed. And now that Sova drone just perfect. Hero, how did you snap back to that? I do not know, but Shados now in a predicament. Has to fall off this, has to respect it.
The immediate investment in the ultimate here.
Welcome to my
Chance it yet. We'll be able to solidify this now with the hit on top.
Now it gets scrappy. Arvez just trying to be amongst
hello,
them, trying to get in there. The
hello.
is doing the effect, but it's KC going out on top right now. Shados and Sugetsu, what are you going to do though? Down to just 2 of you. Shados, that HP is going to be a problem. He's still patrolling.
The key thing being, look where Ruxic can play with this pit.
Yeah, but that's huge though. Takes away the eyes on the site here.
Get back into this before it expires.
He's done just that. Who's going to check on it now?
Should be almost an instant kill, yeah.
It certainly was. And now the problem for Shados is the HP. It was already low, brought lower. Ruxic handles matters. Coming out of the timeout, tick in the box, Mike. Angel's got the right idea.
And the immediate call to invest this lockdown. And again, actually, the right decision to almost kind of pre-take or flood the site here, even though there's a pit. They know that that window of opportunity is so fine. If they can set up behind this pit, it's just treacherous.
Now, repeatable success, though, probably can't run that round again, so we get back into the more standardized, which has vast majority been in KC's favor. Did they have a fix for all of the problems or just an idea for that round? That is what we're about to find out.
Immediately here, Navi on the walk down into sewers. Filu elsewhere. The TP back across will highlight Sugetsu's position. Actually caught with that. Hero still finds it.
I mean, Hero! The last couple of rounds, he's been absolute filth. These shots have been nuts. The one towards B, these two here. One looked fully blind on towards who was it, Sugetsu on site, let alone the follow-up. That's a two-man advantage off the rip. Plants in, it's retake time. They've got Levin's ult. They've got Doji still there. They've got Arvez. But they need to get the ball rolling now.
The tools are there, but Ruxic able to hold them down. Finds a third as well. And in-zone flawless to close out Haven here. Navi leaving nothing up to chance.
We asked the question about that timeout. Did we like it? Did we not? It worked. It worked very well. It gave them just enough to get across the hurdle. Sadly, it feels like a fake comeback on pretty much two maps there, right, Mike? It's a little unfortunate. And this is the one running this back here. Got to see this from Hero. God, I mean, he has to turn up like that in this sort of round.
The sort of player that you give him an inch, he'll take a mile, and there's so many examples in this first game for Navi, but overall a very, very convincing and inspiring performance.
I'm going to say it's a great showing in my mind for Navi. They look on the same page. I like the in-game leadership. I like how that's looking, the calling.
That's the burning question for me. I would love to know how the internals sound here. Again, what's being discussed in the timeouts, what's kind of the set pieces. Because, again, Navi overall, it looked like a really well-pulled and coordinated game on both maps here. KC showing a little more resistance in terms of their defensive game. Want to see some of those attacking set pieces cleaned up a little bit. But overall, impressed with both teams. Navi, way more so.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so in agreement with that. And it feels like the first time in a while that there's a bit of an identity building in this new look Navi. I like what we're seeing. I can't wait to see the evolution of these players as well. We've just seen some really strong showings from some of these.
play when it comes to map veto advantages. It will be down to a skirmish between Crostaly and Martin, which took place earlier, and I can reveal that Martin won 5-4.
It was close.
Skin of his teeth there, but this is very big for Gentlemates, right? It's a big advantage.
Absolutely is. I mean, just to come back to what Shao said, Martin's probably one of the players that you would want in the arena like this to actually be able to give yourself well, setting off on the right foot, right?
In the right foot. I see what you did there. But I think 4 to 5, when we speak about the rookies coming in, it's very, very close, especially against a player like Martin. And also, now before we go to the map select, it's important to say, Breeze is back in, Turkish team, a lot of aim. I know that the map has changed, but also if we take a look at the other maps, we saw a FUT that was permabanned in Icebox last year. It's not in, and same goes for Lotus that they were not liking. So maybe with this Abyss going in, they have something cooked.
I mean, it's the same for Mates, right? The last time Mates played Abyss, Robbie BK was on the team. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. What do we
It's completely different, right? Like, it's only minis, not even like the coaching stuff. So,
but even after that, they didn't want to play Abyss.
True.
It felt like Robbie BK took Abyss with him to Americas. But we're gonna get it this time around. Of course, so many new faces here. Oh, okay, nice haircut.
I was gonna say, yeah,
Nice
they look too happy on the way in here, but certainly now that we've rolled the skirmish B-roll, Martin's like, yeah, they probably aired it by now, so they know I'll crack a smile, yeah.
I also want to shout out Crostaly as well. You know, he's a rookie coming in with a new team, putting himself in a position to even skirmish in the first place. You gotta
we need to know more about that process because we know, yeah, exactly. We know that in NAVI they had like a small competition to see who was better ready. I want to know how it worked in FUT.
I'm not gonna lie, I think Gaius would be a good choice as well. I reckon, yeah, he's really not bad.
We need to do a week where it's just coaches.
Yeah, I mean,
an entire week.
I think Pipson might have an advantage for the first time in his life in that situation. But let's talk about the map, because you heard it there from Shao. They were taking off-season info into their preparation.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear as well that there wasn't much in terms of changes as well. I was obviously talking about the previous series. That's why my eyes have gone towards obviously the agent selection here.
Yeah.
Because there are some questions, right? And newcomers coming in, again, possible role swaps. Obviously talking about for Mates as well, the swap, the IDL. What do we see Mini on? I don't think we're going to see anything too crazy here within this veto, but certainly there's some opportunities.
Surely FUT changed things, no? Because they also play Blender.
But after what we just witnessed on Haven, in case he just relying on that, thinking they were going to find the same success that they did during stage 2, maybe they do not change anything. You're speaking about, I know that he's played Blender, and this is so difficult because you could not repeat agents and whatnot.
You take it with a pinch of salt, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But how much Jet are we going to see? We've not seen any so far. We only saw a couple of maps, but I want to see the different routes that the teams are going to be taking. Is this going to be double duelist? Are we going to be very, very EMEA pilled and just going into the double initiator? Time to tell.
Well, let's take a look at Agent Select and see what we are going to get here. I want to see a Yuta Chamber at some point in this series. That will be a fun one.
Well,
but on Abyss, Mini Flame Brimstone!
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we do get the Whaley Euro on the side of Mace.
Meepo!
Yes, we get the Meepo. I want to see that Brimstone Astra. I think Astra is absolutely great. We will get Zeus playing on the Whaley, not the Jet, but the composition is practically the same. I'm sorry, there's no chamber. So
yeah, not necessarily too many surprises other than the Brimstone, to be honest with you. But again, it's not necessarily going to light the world on fire. I'm more interested to see kind of Yoru and Waylay probably do the most of the heavy lifting here for Gentlemates.
I think that Crostaly with that 4-5 was very close to achieving something big on the first day, and now with the Dejo, I think that he can do it on map 1, especially when we're thinking about separating Bipo and Martin on those executes, what he can do with that drone and whatnot. And otherwise, I do still think that Martin is the best Yoru this.
Is he our Exter? Is he the EMEA Exter?
Yes.
Yeah, Megster.
Megster.
Yeah. Okay. I think he is though, because like, I mean, we would have never been able to guess Mini playing Brim, but
Martin has to go back to finding that form that we've seen a few times. but he kind of lost his touch a little bit.
Can't be farting today.
No, can't be farting.
Cannot be doing that.
Full Barteen.
Yeah, and he also has to demonstrate why he left this KC project behind, you know, because it was a very comfortable position for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing the challenges he might be bringing on this new Gentlemates team. But again, for FUT, is there even an expectation there against them? They should win, right? They have to win this opening game.
They should, yeah. But FUT is a roster that I'm quite concerned about because of the changes. They have to kind of get through these teething issues very, very quickly.
Well, speaking of FUT, we can't leave out their #1 fan. It's Mitch Man alongside Tombiz.
Wow.
Oh, it's good to be back, Yinsu. Yes, it's time to kick this matchup off down on that stage. A year of new things, Tom, and for these rosters, that's certainly not something we can avoid talking about.
I was about to say, 2026 is going to be different, but the FUT Joker's already made it within the first few seconds. But no, I'm really excited for this one because I think that you come in with hopefully a FUT roster that's basically going to look to work around Zeus a little bit more. I think they tried to go for firepower last year. This year with the new players, I think we're looking at a little bit more of an opportunity for some youngsters to come in that are going to add a little bit more of like a stabilized look to this team. And then on the other side of things, you have a whole new look. You've got Martin switching over to one of the other French organizations, which I think is very fun. Starzo coming back to the Tier 1. Glyph obviously swapping regions. And then Bippo himself, like one of those players that didn't make it to Ascension, but that Mouse roster was talked about a lot as an exciting prospect. They'll kick things off on the attack.
Yeah, we expect a lot from FUT looking at their history in this region. Mr. Fallen as well, being around the scene. I mean, it's been more than 5 years since his first official. Leading this squad, some youngsters alongside him, and a team like FUT always had their ear to the ground for new talent. This pistol round starting out with blows traded for each team. Good stun forces a player back. Baha holding on to control the backside, but Crystalli's gone down. There's trouble brewing as the Astra up close surrounded as a bit of backup from far away, and it will be the trade for Mr. Fallen. But Zeus, the one left to carry the mantle through, and Biffo will shut him down with the pistol going to Gentlemates.
Yeah, an important start. Of course, this team last year was known for their hot starts, incredible first halves of games. I think if you only included the first half of matches, Mates might be the best team in the region.
Yeah, I don't think that's a mic.
Unfortunately, I think they lost 9 games in a row.
Yeah,
so,
unfortunately, if you compare the second half, I think they might be the worst team in the region.
I think they were. I think it's not something you could argue, but off to that hot start once again. I think for someone like Bippo, it's going to be important, the fact that you are that player coming into the Tier 1. You are someone that maybe flies under the radar a little bit if you haven't been watching a lot of the Duck League, which maybe you haven't. But he's definitely an exciting prospect. And well, he hasn't pushed Martin off the duelist on this map, but he may do on others. And that kind of says a lot, because as Bear was saying, he is an incredible duelist, especially on the Yoru.
I'm very excited to see Mini as well, without that weight on his shoulders, leading the team, having a chance winner stepping in to lead this team instead, takes that responsibility off Mini, allows him to maybe be that. No?
He wasn't IGLing.
No, we've not got Bone Cold here. I wish we did. I miss him. I miss looking in his eyes. But he absolutely does. Oh, captain, my captain. But the reality is, you know, for Gentlemates, they've made these changes. It's somewhere that I can see a lot going right. They could have the perfect formula with a lot of experience on this roster and those new guys as well. But the same thing can be said for FUT. The thing is, though, on that side of the camp, the team that will now be getting the bye after that flawless round, the in-zone flawless, we saw Martin popping off. As they get the weapons back out for FUT, I'm wondering, this is a team that seems to have had an identity crisis. They had one of the best Jets, one of the best duelists in the world at a time. I've seen that last season. Guys
I was going to say, which one are you talking about?
We're getting rid of Cracks now as well, who seems like one of the most consistent utility support players that we've got in the league. Or had
consistent
for a long time.
KOs.
Consistent KO. KO in particular.
Yeah, if you remove all the other initiators, then he was a consistent, across the region.
But it's a team that needs to find their identity, and I think early on, that's going to be the biggest challenge for FUT.
The main thing for me is I want to see them almost like they were before CNID, where a lot of util being put into Zeus. Because when he came into the league, we were talking about him as like a hot prospect, someone who is going to be like one of those best players from the Turkish region, which means he's going to be one of the best players from our region, because most of them are. The fact is, though, he kind of fell off. Like, he started strong, didn't really see too much more. For Mates, though, an early deficit. But they do still have 4 guns to play with here.
Like that from Zeus. He's delaying them a bit with the stun, but the second barrage of util to come through. Flash dodge to start, but the drone catches him, and in the corner he has nowhere to go. Nice shutdown by Mini, good utility, and that's gotten mates a foothold here on the A side, but not just that, look at the position that they've left Glyph with. He's got a huge opportunity to play this late flank through mid.
Yeah, the rest of the team can almost just sit back, wait for him to try and make a move. They've got available util to delay. That star being put into place to try and make things awkward, and already additional utility bouncing in just to slow them even further. That lurk coming in from behind is going to make things difficult. They're fighting on a front to clear our main. Baha's done well, but then Glyph strikes from the backline, leaving Yedajay with no chance. There's not enough time for him to try and fight this one back. A beautiful post-plant play from mates, and a third round, a bonus under their belt.
Yeah, I like that decision from mates to send 3 players, your smokes, your initiation, and your duelist, who's got those flashes in the form of Yoru. Send them towards A main, take that fight as a group, try to get a foothold, and then what ends up winning them the round, securing it, is that safety net of Glyph. They've come in with a clear idea, a game plan from the get-go, and an identity that's gotten them a 3-0 start for FUT. Shaky territory. Shaky footing, so to speak.
It's a little bit worrying as well that, like, I feel like Zeus, the way he started, you kind of expect him to be a little bit on an island, but he didn't seem to have any escape plan then until it was way too late. And sure, he's a fantastic player individually, but if you have a full team breathing down your neck, it's going to be difficult to get out of that one. We are going to see a bit of investment into the light buy, the bandit bought up for Zeus, which, hey, if you're seeing the player that we expect to have the best aim on a team picking up a gun, it's probably a pretty good gun.
Must be a reason for it, yeah.
Where are the skins, though? Like, what are we doing? We haven't got any yet.
No skins on release is kind of a crime.
Give us some skins.
I know. We need.
So I can give you my money.
I had this same problem when the Outlaw came out, but they're coming. They're in the pipeline. Don't you worry. But 3-0 start for mates. Shields bought up by Yedajay. He can actually take at least one of those shots, and he will. 31 health, just about survived. Now that's the little bit of investment paying off already. They've got an Outlaw to work with, but they might not have a site to defend because mates are gearing up now for this B take. Losing control on one side of the map means they've got to take some elsewhere. And FUT decide to play for a retake with an Outlaw and that rifle that Yedajay will probably give to someone else. 31 HP. They stand a chance of at least doing some damage here.
Baha retrieves the sniper. Even the tags could help.
Exits.
Yeah, if they are going to move, they have to move pretty soon already. The salvos go out, but they drop like flies. Crystalli was at least able to pick up one with that utility. And now anything more would just be about damage.
Nice.
It's not the prettiest, but eventually Glyph will fall. Mates are taking quite a lot of casualties in these rounds, but to be honest, grinding out 4 already on the attack side. They'll be quite happy with that. And Starzo even getting, well, that ultimate now online for the next round. It's going to make that execution even tougher to deal with a double dive plus a Hunter's Fury.
And that was set up for so much more damage for FUT as well. A player on either side has recovered a rifle. 1v2. Trying to catch those exits. That shot landing, or this shot landing for Baha, nearly made all the difference. But even despite a bit of damage for mates, like we said, 4-0 up, economy looking good. Starting to build up credits on a couple of players. And for FUT, it's really one chance to stop their opponents from running away with this early map. We need to see a round on the board. We see the AWP come out for Zeus. Yeah. That could be the difference maker, but it is on middle, and look at where mates are going. Nowhere near that position, at least for now.
It might also just signal a change. He was never really the guy to pick up the operator.
Yep.
But he's not going to be in the right place at the right time. Early sprint in when you have the Hunter's Fury, the double dive. As said, it becomes deadly. Can get him with pace, but they managed to dodge it on the defense, at least for the early fights, and well, for Baha, it has not gone well.
You are divided.
For the remainder, you almost have to question the save already, but with Zeus finding one, that might make things a little bit more interesting. This post plant, though, Mitch, is going to be tough to break.
Yeah, I mean, simply put, they just fell apart on the gunplay, and it's left FUT now with a big hill to climb back up to get into this game. Martin has a way out, so he's sticking around, trying to be a headache. The gate crash will be taken into the open, though. Oh, that's a freebie given back, and there's still a bit of time on this clock. FUT could get on that spike, and they will indeed. Now putting the pressure on, dragging them into fights where Zeus is able to take down Cliff, but the molly buys a little bit more time. Mates running the clock down. Mini's going to catch one, and they need that defuse to be started. They need it to be stuck, and it might just be there in time. A narrow margin, but not tight enough. FUT, they make that retake happen.
Yeah, that's really nice stuff coming out from Zeus. Like the quick pick through the smoke on top of the salvo. You're not really expecting anybody to push in that moment, and the get out of jail free card made it so much more awkward. Definitely a mistake or two, like Martin being caught out. But it still took some solid work from the side of FUT on that defense. Operator also been retrieved, and to be honest, other than the singular shot that was used in the retake, probably wasn't seen.
Good to see inside that coaching booth as well. Bambino, a man we've all got a lot of respect for, but alongside guys, the super sub.
He's back.
He's back, baby. And we have high expectations for any roster led by him,
no.
but Mr. Fallen, he'll be leading absolutely nothing. Taken down early on, that stun, maybe not ideal. Man, just a slip around! That double! Let's breathe life back into this FUT roster.
I have the spike.
But just as quickly, they're put back into a 3v2.
This will get Bippo's ult online as well.
Spike planted.
Set him up nicely for the post plant with the convergence path, and if using the area, it's not something we mentioned. Not ideal. They're being closed in on as well. Crystalli is going to get that information. In fact, he's going to get ulted. The captain stun in the instant one tap. A crazy shot to land it, and then Yenishay is just waiting for Glyph to push through. Wonderful stuff, that Turkish aim shining through. Well, FUT, they're not making it easy for themselves, Mitch, but they got a second round.
They're definitely not, Tom, but I would say in both those rounds, I'd favor their opponents to take it. We could be looking at a 6-0.
Well, yeah, with that
And in fact, with the economy where it was at, it would have been an easy 6th round to add on to the tally for mates if they won the previous. So for FUT, they're being given very little in terms of margin for error. And they're making it work anyways. You got to respect the grind back, and a very, very crucial set of rounds that keep that scoreline close, that get their economy back into the game, and that push mates down to an eco. So a chance to close that gap in even more. This can't be the round that they let slip. They're already down a couple rounds.
Pulling them in.
This is
You can
just
easily see mates return to form.
I think I've seen this from Fnatic last year. Just go, hey, again and again and again. And well, once more, they seem to be getting themselves ready for another post plant. That hasn't been the issue at all. They did lose the convergence path in the last round, but Mitch, they do have an orbital strike. But Mini's not in the best spot to use it. In fact, he's pushing forward.
I mean, they've got those pistols. Mini even, Guardian in hand, low HP. They got to try to take some risks.
Goodbye.
Either that or you stand back and wait for them to come to you, but when FUT take that fight, it's on their own terms. 3 on the board now for the team that was trailing, that had zilch.
Yeah.
That didn't have a lot of promise in the rounds they were losing either. Well, they are right back in the game, trailing by 1.
Yeah, it's also interesting to talk about with this FUT roster is like, there's been a lot of Turkish talent that I think has been a known quantity for a while. Like, I think people are starting to get excited about Ulf. Obviously, BBL, which were BBL Pacific at the time, everybody was trying to pick up those players.
I don't know what they're doing.
But Baha and Crystalli were definitely not like near the top of the list. They weren't players that everybody was like, oh, this guy's going to be in tier 1, definitely. But maybe early signs, but we've definitely seen some good moments from them already. For people probably coming in with quite a lot of pressure, a lot to prove early. Zeus, we're seeing quite a lot of that as well. Failed saturates that end up almost hitting the person themselves. And guess what? It's looking like an A hit again.
Seems like there's definitely a favorite. That's a very deep orbital strike going to be put into play. The site will be claimed, but they're looking for a little bit more. Mates inside the smoke, and it will be Zeus that comes under pressure if they decide to flash out. There's the pop, but they haven't caught Zeus. He's good to fire from the side and take a double. A leg up for FUT as they look to reclaim the site, and Mates, they step forward, taking an even more aggressive stance. Smoke up top gives Bippo the cover. He's on the corner.
This is how it ends.
And he'll be taken out of it by Zeus. It's just running through this side, and ace found by Zeus puts FUT back to level territory, a 4-4 scoreline, and there's not much more to talk about in that round than the Waylay on the defensive side. Unbelievable scene.
This is kind of the guy that we expected. Like, when he first came into the team, he was just nuts. Like, you could see why FUT had built the roster around him. Last year, I do feel like parts of that went missing. Cena being in the roster, more utility was put into that sort of like controller operator player. But now seeing this guy just be able to take over. He's got his assistant coach very excited, that's for sure. 11-6 on the board. A 4th successive retake in a row on the A site. Do we now see mates go B?
Nonsense, Tom.
Well, the
fake B go away.
The spike is there.
Fake B go away, Tom. That's what it's all about.
Okay.
Give a ball control.
They're rusing the map as well.
Of course. They're playing us just in case their opponents have X-ray.
Well, there's 3 people on B. So I think FUT have maybe gone, I have a feeling eventually they're going to have to try something else. Not much mid control as well. Like, we saw the lurk in those early rounds, but it's very, very direct.
Yeah, the cam is there to cover that mid walk through, as well as give it a bit more passive info. On site now, Yedije found one in the cage, but doesn't manage to get the kill with Martin flying under the radar down below. Good flash. It's caught Cristalli, and he'll easily be taken out from afar. Glyph helping out in that one. His mates find a flawless execute over this site. A bit of damage from shock darts is all
a lot of damage
that they have to report back about. And the retake for FUT with an operator and Mr. Fallen standing by his side. They might just go for, look how far away Zeus is. I think they're going to go for the save at this point. Mr. Fallen toying around with the idea of finding a kill or finding a fight, but not much is going to come from this.
Yeah, I don't think you'd throw an operator into a retake in a 2v5. That would be huge economic waste. Although I'll be honest, I kind of agree with what he said last year. It's like, why would I go for an operator when I can just headshot people with a rifle? We just saw him ace, and then he's gone, right, I'm back on the ops. Like, no, just stick on the rifle. This round was obviously a little bit different. Wasn't anywhere near the action, and I think there was, again, just a small mistake or two. I think Martin being able to fly under the radar was enough to open up on the Cypher, and even though they had 2 other players there, you wouldn't have known. They were gone in a flash, and that's always the terrifying thing with this composition is that 1-2 punch of Yoru Waylay. You think one is gone, well, the other might still be there.
Yeah, it's just about the options that it gives you in terms of taking those fight, the Velvet over Iron, that hidden strength. Your opponents never really know what they're up against. But it is a sign of the times, I suppose, like you're saying, seeing Zeus, a man like Zeus of all people, picking up the operator this consistently, going back to it at first opportunity. It's the era that we're in now, that you've got less utility to clear those angles. He wants to be the guy that's making you nervous to peek that angle without utility, making it costly for you to claim any map control. Problem is, so far, yeah, he's been much more terrifying with the rifle in hand.
Yeah.
Because he just kills it.
It's not a bad problem to have. No, it's like, oh yeah, someone might have to give him a rifle every once in a while, but if he's going to win you around, that's okay. Still, mates sit in the lead. Of course, with this specific composition, a lot of the time you do see the success on the attack.
I love this. Caught by the drone outside A, Sova starts running back. They wait outside B as well, letting the drone go all the way up to here. Of course, if you're FUT, you think that there's no one here, but luckily, he hasn't walked all the way into the trap there. That could have been the very end of Cristalli, but
it was the shots. Baja fired a couple, didn't connect, and that's enough for him to go, I think they might be waiting here. This is a lot slower. Like, mates have just been blitzing into sites all the way through this half, down to the 30-second marker. It feels a little bit more indecisive. Sending a bit of util, holding players into that B site. They're going to then try and fake into A. There's only going to be one man there, but that one man has been enough. No! Just pulls out his knife. The timing couldn't be any better. Yetushe's still going to win versus Bippo. And it is going to be more of a retake scenario once again, but for FUT, they don't mind that.
It's been looking good, but the problem is usually they've had players to contain that aggression in towards the spawn. Think about Zeus hiding in the close right corner if Glyph was to round into spawn. Now, this time they don't have that, and so it's going to take a little bit more time in going for the re-clears, and there's a risk that they're set up a little bit more advanced than you're ready for. Luckily, though, mates are just sitting on the site. They're going to be vulnerable to a burst of util coming through, but there's nothing left to work with, so they got to just run it down, run into the fights, and, well, mates very quick to pounce on the back of that, leaving Mr. Fallen alone, and Yeah, the retake's certainly not looking so easy without an ace on a rifle running it back through.
Yeah, it does turn out when Zeus is dead, things become a little bit more difficult, but for now at least, that will be the lead extended just a little bit from Mates. As said, I do think that with this composition, normally the expectation is to pull out those attack side rounds. The double dive can be terrifying, but also a little bit more predictable when you're on the defense and you almost have to be that little bit more aggressive. For FUT though, they've decided after the streak ended, they want to take themselves a pause, try and have an opportunity to level things up at the half, and with their economy in bits, this kind of does feel like a 2-for-1 round. If they're not able to take this one over the line, I think Mates will likely get an 8-4 half.
I think even if the money was there, I start to question now if we would see Zeus just stick on that rifle. I mean, he just got wide swung, tapped out of it towards that A side. And I think the idea from Mates in that round was brilliant. From the very get-go, I believe they wanted that to be an A finish. But they ran so much time down. They waited out the utility to try to punish the B aggro. It came in. They didn't punish it. It was a little bit of a fumble. But they waited so long then that B hit in. It fully convinces their opponents that that's the play, leaving just the op on the A site, and when that op misses their shot as well, the round's already yours, the majority of the time at least. It works wonderfully here, and again, I look back at Zeus and think, he had a rifle in his hand. I think that's a very different fight that he looks for, maybe a different result for their squad. Luckily, this time he will have a rifle. No option for the op, the credit's running down low. But what you have to remember for Mates as well is this could have been an incredibly convincing start, but that little bump in the road from FUT has already given their opponents a lifeline. They could very well come back to 6-6 at the half. Now that rifle's back out. Let's see. Op in hand for Bippo.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Almost a counter to the counter. They're expecting to see aggression. They're going to pull the operator in. I'm sure that was something brought through by the coaching staff. I've heard a lot of good things about Kundi being from that same Mouse roster, and Paco as well from the KC Academy. It's a solid coaching staff coming in for Mates. Maybe one that, again, might not be the most well-known, but if you keep an eye on the Tier 2, they're definitely in the mix.
Here.
For now, though,
time to jump.
It does look like we're going back to the old faithful. That A-side pressure, a small lurk in play, but the dive through once more.
Gate crash not taken. It's the A side.
Wow, they're rotating off.
Yeah, but look at Mini. He's wrapped up through middle, got in this position, but they're ready for it. They know something isn't right with this. I mean, for Mini, when does he go? What's his timing?
I think he's just waiting for them to come through the door.
Yeah, for the rotation. Once that B side is hit, once a bit of noise is made, but you've still got one waiting outside A. Spike coming back in that direction. Is this going to be another B fake into A hit?
Yeah, it is.
It worked before, but FUT still have 3 players here this time.
I don't think they'd expect anybody to be this deep. Now, will this start the rotation? You can hear. And Mini's just waiting. He's hoping that he gets steps to give away the game. Instead, it hasn't been the case, but there's the timing. Strikes perfectly, takes down one, and sure, on the other side of the map, they managed to win a fight, but that spike will go down with seconds to spare. A 2v3 retake and economy on the line. Decisions need to be made for FUT, and they have no idea that Martin is still just waiting. In fact, he expects both players in their positions. It is a complicated round for Mates, but honestly, perfectly executed again.
Again, yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row where I feel like they've come in with a pretty complex game plan that has a lot of ways that it can go wrong, but every player knows their role perfectly. They're moving, they're not overextending. I think the biggest risk taken here, aside from maybe the goodness gracious, aside from maybe the mid walk by Mini, which, you know, cloak and dagger on that, but was Martin at the very end when the round's already theirs. Like, that's it. Very, very nicely done. And for FUT, it's got to be frustrating because this is a team that we know. When you make mistakes and you come swinging at them, looking for that early knockout, they're going to hit right back.
Yeah.
But here, they're not being given the chance.
This is looking less like some individual stars looking to try and make plays, players coming up from the Tier 2 trying to make a name, and much more like a team, which, considering they've been together for such a short amount of time, very impressive thus far. Again, credit to the coaching staff, but also to Starzo taking up that leadership role. This has to have a lot of individual presence, but also a mastermind behind it. Again, patient stuff, but the thing is, they can now just bait rotations. Like, FUT aren't going to overcommit here because they've been bitten so many times. The drone, well, that's going to give the game away. It is only a trade, though. And actually, this time, Zeus catches not only one, but also the spike.
That's certainly going to be a problem. Man advantage for the defense. They haven't wrapped through mid, playing it super cautious and waiting for the Cosmic Divide to come in, but Mini stepped ahead of it, able to catch Mr. Fallen over towards the B site. This is the problem. Yedajay. He's got to wait for some backup to break through that Cosmic Divide.
Ready.
With Orb, though, yeah, now they don't have to take that big risk of walking through the wall
the
blind. They can take the spike, but with no gate crash to go back, they've got to plant on this B site.
Yeah, they've realized they don't have time for it. The idea was nice, but unfortunately, with 15 seconds left, Mini's got to have to go through this smoke, and yeah, it's not bad, but he's got to try and kill everybody now, and there just isn't enough time. Baha will be there to close, and a decent resurgence from the initial start, but Mate's still going at the half.
Mate's certainly looking solid in a lot of these rounds, and we've seen them bring this to a level of strategic depth on that attack side that, you know, I'm used to seeing Mini call some great rounds, but with him probably coming in on some secondary calls with Starzo, you can see that there's a lot of depth to this roster. So much more to be seen after the break.
And then Philly.
Yo, chat. How are you?
In the door.
Yeah, it's not a bad sign though. Like the fact that it did feel like they were in control for the majority, and that it took some individual brilliance to really bring things back for such a new roster without that same sort of core as the other side. Pistol round can make all the difference. It could see them further away, but FUT have already managed to get in there. Saying that though, Zeus has been caught. An early advantage for Mates.
Mates have their target here. They know that the majority of the players are on the site, but Yedajay's isolated. They need to deal with him up top as the drop comes in. Mr. Fallen able to deal the damage! It's a triple for the leader! A headshot on the glyph, finishing him off! And the ace for Mr. Fallen! Almost as impressive as the one he put up last year, and you know what? He's got plenty of time to build on that. What a start to his year!
He always takes the guns that I believe are like, oh, that gun's okay, or that gun's bad, and then just aces with it. Like, especially from the fact that, like, half of those he did with just one clip of the gun. That was so unbelievably clean. Whoa, what's that? They've got 6 rounds and 2 aces. FUT are going to be breaking some records this year, I fear.
Yeah, unlucky Zeus. I mean, it was a really nice ace earlier, but Mr. Fallen's winning the best ace of the day. It's a new challenge we're going to be running for FUT. A 6-7 scoreline, Tom. You'll love to see it. Mates will not be looking to make this a long round, though.
Yeah, no chance for an ace. Well, I guess technically the ground got an ace in this round, but an in-zone flawless, everybody's favorite when people just jump straight off the map. And that will level things up. And as I said, I'm now intrigued how we're going to see this defensive side composition work. Because, of course, you can have that sort of like aggro and then fall away. But that's the expected way to play this defensive side. It's something FUT can wait for. As you said, if you're pushing into angles with FUT waiting, that's where you expect them to win the fight. So I want to see what mates have got. Is it going to be down to more retake style play in order to get a lot of that utility put into place? They have a lot of smokes to sort of section off angles. They're going to be playing with delay because of that.
Revealing area.
As that double controller could add a bit of a spanner in the works. And no surprise to see Mini playing over towards the A side. Definitely feels like where he's going to have the most impact.
Deploying drone.
Unlucky. Well, we started this out by talking about FUT's desire to equalize things. They've managed to do that in style. But now, to push ahead of their opponents, it's a big round. A lot of weaker weapons. You've got the Bulldogs, you've got the Spectre, and mates are holding it down with rifles in hand. Good trade of damage for Mr. Fallen. Again, he's a bit of a pest with the pistols so far. But it will be this fight on the A side that decides it all. If Baja goes too early and loses, then they are really back up against the wall for the fight to come. But if he wins it, that side's open. And he's going to have some teammates to swing with him. Mini, the man who has to hold his ground.
The clock getting relatively low, but
30 seconds
as you sort of
left.
pointed out, there isn't a whole lot on this A side of the map. The late smoke, though, is going to make things very awkward. It's something that they have to go through. And in fact, Mini's just now starting to spam utilities, thinking, well, you know what? There's only 15 seconds left on the clock. If they're going to move, I want them to have the most awkward time possible. 10 seconds as they now run in towards the blender. And, well, it's safe to say FUT were not expecting that much utility that late in the round. And Mini, he was the only man on that site for quite a time. He's still there at the end.
Yeah, well, patience certainly paid off there. Holding the angle for the majority of the round, just popping a smoke or two. That's all he got to do. And finally, push came to shove, and well, he has shoved mates right back into the lead. 8-7 scoreline, but this is where the bye comes back on the other side. For FUT, though, I don't think that came down to weaponry. You know, they had 10 seconds to run through smokes to take fights. Give a man whatever weapon he wants in that moment. I think we're going to favor Mini in those battles. See if they can make it work, though, with rifles in hand, with a Hunter's Fury to start him with an early fight. Looked for by Bippo. He gets one and gets out, but Glyph not so lucky, and Martine's in the open. Plenty of guns to give him a safe avenue back out of the site. Look at the creep up by Yedeje, though, wasting no time in these moments.
Oh, he's going to get caught
in one place, and they look to exploit the weakness of another, but smoke and mirrors, mates changing their front lines as the round goes on, as the seconds pass, and a 4v3 as a result.
Nowhere to run!
Well, there is that Hunter's Fury, but there's not that many people to fight alongside it anymore. Mr. Fallen almost has to try and just go for damage, and a minute left on the clock. Martine is supported by Bippo, although he will get an isolated fight. Martine doesn't give the game away, and at this point, Mr. Fallen is almost completely boxed in. You can see Mini just waiting on the angle. It is a 1v1, but realistically, to pre-aim this angle, it's never going to happen. It's such an obscure spot for somebody to stand in. Mates, again, they will find the conversion, extend that lead a little further, and this is where things might now start to get a little bit more difficult for FUT.
Didn't need the slow-mo there, did we? Yeah, but really nice work. You know, the initial fight, it ends up as a 1-to-1 trade. Not that good for the defense. But the fact that they're then able to reset, they're able to catch Yedeje walking through mid. The upper hand's already claimed at that point. FUT are left without any more threads to pull on. As it is their plan that unravels, and Gentlemates find that 2-round lead. Push FUT onto an eco. The chance for double digits and to set themselves up on the home stretch. Very much within their grasp now. I think this is one of those rounds where they're doing exactly the right thing. Look at how passive Gentlemates are being across the board. I mean, this is players set up. I mean, yes, a little aggressive from Martin. He had a gate crash up until seconds ago. But for the majority here, it is just spot info, maybe get a shot or two off, and get out of there. Don't give them the chance to overwhelm you, to rush you down with the pistols, because you know, of all teams, FUT are the ones you got to be careful of when it comes to that department.
Yeah, I feel like they need to almost start pressuring this A site a little bit earlier, because when you have these smokes available just to delay, you're going to have to try and just dive through everything, and that's where Martin's just waiting on the other side. A solo play from Zeus that didn't have a whole lot of support, but even if it did, just look how many players are waiting. It's a triangular crossfire that is running through a smoke. I'd be shocked if anybody on the other side was caught.
Well, you know, they've tried that mid-aggression a couple of times. Yeah, but this time it's a little more than usual.
15 seconds.
Yedejay's behind them, but it's being watched. Mini's got his number, a clean kill, and again, that's it. You hope that Yedejay finds that angle behind, and when he doesn't, what do you do? Nothing left in the playbook, but to fall at Mini's hands. A 4K orbital strike online, in-zone flawless, money-maker round for Gentlemates. And now they're on the home stretch. Everything pointing towards Gentlemates taking FUT's map pick.
This is the problem when you're not able to, well, when you're not disrespecting the utility that Mini has. He is just holding these folks until the very last second. Like, he's throwing them down with like 20 left on the board, and as said, then you're trying to run through smokes to kill him, and that's where he just has insane individual ability. Of course, 17 and 9 at the moment. And someone that even last year, when talking about him picking up that IGL role, he still shone individually, but it seems like he's having an even better time here today over on those smokes.
Well, this is it, man. I think Mini in general, like, you think about how many players, we talked about it before, but you go back to like Gobby, the guy who, he leads the team, he looks okay, and when he's in a clutch,
we really are going back.
He's godlike. Someone like Mini, he very much gives me that vibe, because this guy was putting up numbers when it came to leading the team. And now he's unleashed. He's got much less pressure on his shoulders, and it's his chance to shine as an individual. And so far, here today, he has been shining. Hell, he was shining when he was IGL, and so you can only imagine how much brighter it can get.
Yeah, it is scary, because I do think that, I don't want to say that he was the problem when it came to the leadership, but it definitely seemed like there was a big factor of crumbling. And so now having someone like Starzo, who, again, strategically, where the jury's still out, but even just in terms of a confidence aspect, someone who's going to hype up the team, someone who's going to be an emotional leader, he is all of those things and more. And then it unleashes Mini just to be that cracked aimer again. Well, you're witnessing it. Top of the board. I think he's had 7 kills in the last 2 rounds, just trying to hold on to that A site. And well, as of right now, it doesn't seem like FUT have an answer to a Brimstone on A, which, again, it's not something I thought I'd be saying at the beginning of the day. Look how aggro they are.
The A side hasn't worked out for them, so FUT moved to B, which is now wide open. Mates have double pushed up in A main. They've got players watching mid from both the connector and deep into spawn. This is the whole team, essentially, on the A site with Glyph alone. He's going to be caught putting some of his util out. The smoke blooms, and so do the chances for the side of FUT as now a plant comes through. And everybody on Mates miles away.
Yeah.
So much space to clear, and a snake in the grass in the form of Baha.
Yeah, this seems like a massive misread, because originally I thought they were playing the retake, but evidently they weren't playing the retake because Glyph goes pushing in. That kill for free, though, is definitely going to help them out a little bit. Astra gone, some of the post plant gone. A lot of aggressive positions for them to fight in as well, and they're losing those battles. A surprise position from Yedejay, clearly not enough of a surprise, and Mini's just winning every single fight. Just let this man shoot, and he'll bring you home rounds. Screw being the IGL. This man's just leading in the fragging department.
Ooh, well, that one paid off, didn't it? Yeah.
They didn't even push him. He pushed every single one of those fights. That was an entry fragging the Brimstone.
You know, I'm thinking Yedejay's got him on that second player that's lurking around mid.
They should have all had it.
He gets the orbital strike because he took Yedejay down. He's able to put that into play. And I thought, already, Mini has done enough to win this round. He's got 2 kills he shouldn't have. He's managed to make them think about their back. He's put orbital strike down to clear a ton of the map, to block vision, and then he kills the last 2 as well. Jesus, Mini, relax. Let them play a bit. 11-7, 21-9. And you know what? He might not be IG Allen, but shit, he is leading right now.
Yeah.
God damn.
They really, you don't need to IGL. I guess not much to say when they push A, he kills them all. They push B, he kills them all. It's kind of, it's convenient.
You can't even say they're pushing into him. He pushed into them. He's just doing it all. He's too good, man.
Oh, this time it's Martin to kick off the fragging. An attempted sort of solo push down mid hasn't worked out. And while Bippo goes, you know what, see one, play one. He's not going to get the frag, but Baha now tagged desperately low and still has an awful lot of space. Like FUT
going out.
are beginning to look a little lost. And bear in mind, just to add insult to injury, this is their map choice as well.
One suppressed.
Oh, that's not quite landed where it was supposed to. And on the map, you might be able to tell, but you're not going to be 100% certain if it's got the info or not. Up goes Baha, taking advantage of that space that was left open, but now it's being given away. The shock dart's dangerous. Baha surviving and wrapping around as Mr. Fallen becomes the focal point. A shot landed on the side, and a plant could be found. Looks like they're going to try to commit it as Mr. Fallen covers from the side. The plant comes through, but it's two men. Their position's known. Their backs against the wall, and now just one who's standing soon. You'd imagine to be falling, and the shot from Mini to confirm yet another round for Gentlemates. Anything but gentle in their approach to this defensive side. 12 on the board, and plenty of chances to lock FUT out of their map pick.
Yeah, they're looking very, very comfortable. I think we saw some of those brilliant individual plays coming out from FUT, but when it comes to a squad as a unit,
One enemy.
seems like mates are better, but also then there's one individual that is outshining everybody on the other side as well. So it seems like they've got them beat in every single department. An ultimate for Zeus. Maybe a chance to pick up the pace a little bit. Like, we've seen them walk up and get themselves at least into the site, but it's always been segmented. It's also had layered lurks that just haven't worked. Like, they've been caught every single time they've left something behind. I almost want FUT to just go back to the basics a little here, but where's this ult going?
There's deep B main push.
Yeah, they're going for the same thing again. Something they attempted already, but it was just waiting for contact, and there wasn't any.
Barrel spotted. Players spotted. Info on 2. But there's 4 in this choke point. Unfortunately, what we're seeing from mates here, I mean, it's a bit of a head scratcher. 2 players waiting outside the B site like that. It looked like they'd caught FUT with their pants down, red-handed before the robbery, but now the B site's been left wide open, and you think, why is that? Well, look, it's nice to get aggressive with that waylay ult, but it's even nicer to play the retake and trap them all in there. Not only that, but
Uno reverse.
avoid a waylay ult on the other side. Mates have played this again perfectly.
Spike
It
planted.
depends. It depends how long.
Zeus isn't putting the ult through.
Yeah, it depends how long he holds it. Because the longer he holds it, the more dangerous it gets. Yeah, he was expecting them to be further in by now, and unfortunately he was wrong. Now comes that counter. Nice use. The tail. Oh, and in fact, Mini's been caught by it. That's the danger man, and all the rest pushing in will find nothing. An in-zone flawless. A return to form for FUT. And while the attempted retake not working out for mates, even still though, they now need to match the streak of the opposition.
Well, that round doesn't worry me in the slightest, honestly. Mates changed how they played it early on to avoid the util and ult dump on the site. They then play the retake, they dodge the first piece of utility, and it has to be a massive commitment coming in from FUT to get them that control, to get them that win. They used 3 ultimates. They're not going to have those for a while. And for mates, they know when it comes to the round by round, they're the ones that are winning. They also kept their own convergence path, which gives them a leg up anyways in a battle they're already favored in. I think they've done well playing with the rounds that they've got, spending them like currency to trade out the ultis on the other side. And I think they got a good deal in that last round. 4 in a row needed. Ooh. Oh, it's messy. And that one's going to haunt Yedajay.
Yeah, that could have been an easy opener. Instead, they now find themselves 2 players down, mates ready to close their opponent's map choice. And oh, Cristalli, he's found himself in an interesting position, but he's not really the guy you want to be making plays. He's got the spike. And Mr. Fallen is currently walking into the other side of the map. being set
Right
up
here.
to try and battle and brawl, maybe hoping to pull rotations. That's the goal. Can he make somebody move? But why would mates gamble? There's literally not really any reason to, and while the second they tried to, Baha, I think, shoots just a little bit early. Now they have 3 players on the side of the map with the spike. Cristalli, he needs to find something here, and he might just get it. The timing is ideal, but he needs all of them to go down. Can he clear out Mini? That would be everything. He would take the side on his own. It has to be the ace, though, Mitch. His teammate has been lost, Mr. Farlin. And now one of the newbies, one of the rookies, is going to try and do absolutely everything, but he can't. A very nice try, but it's mates that will take the first map.
Now, we talked a lot coming into this about identity, FUT searching for theirs over the last year or two, and for Gentlemates, reshaping this roster, even keeping their IGL, but changing the role, bringing in Starzo from that Tier 2. A man who's reached the highest of heights within the Tier 1 scene, way back our first Champs winner. And now, this new challenge, well, it didn't seem to be much of one as they take FUT's map pick and set themselves up for what could be a 2-0 in their first series this year. We'll be back to find out if that's the case after the break.
You shit! You're losing time! Hello! You shit! You shit! Come on! Come on!
Get your hand! Come on! Oh, look at me!
Red Bull gives you wings.
last year was Mini's fault.
Absolutely not.
Then
it's like everyone else
not the
but
same
Mini.
thing. Then nothing else is the same.
Yeah. Actually, I'm with it. You know, we got to turn a new page. We got to turn a new page here. But for FUT, though, they don't want to carry on the form they had last year either. You know, we want to see them make a global event. We want to see them look competitive in EMEA. Because this team, they've been here since the beginning, even pre-partnership, and they never won anything. They've literally never won anything. I want them to start at least winning a map here against Gentlemen, because they're going to face way stronger teams on paper, in theory.
I think that, Lou, something that you were mentioning, confidence is very important. And to me, individually, they're not lacking it. Otherwise, you would not be able to ace in a couple of rounds. They do have the trust in themselves. I feel it's a little bit more of the process. If they are to lose today, things are going to get complicated for them.
Let's go! I am so hyped. I'm not going to lie. I've been praying on my knees to see Yesterday on something like this. This is great.
Yeah, for mates, yeah, we kind of can't expect all of this. Double duelist, double controller, yes, very on brand, but I'm super with you. Especially when you want someone to lift up the game, to lift up the spirit. It's going to be Jet2J. Let's hope they can do it on the Waylay.
And bring up some spice also. I was going to ask you a question, but I think it's a rhetorical one. Like, are we more on the Waylay or on the Yoru side? But I think you ladies already answered.
Oh, I hope he opts.
I hope he opts a lot.
Oh, I hope he opts.
I hope he makes no sense. No, I hope he outlaws.
Oh, yes,
he will, for sure.
Or maybe even like a Bucky or something, you know, maybe something like that. I hope he also has the tech.
No, I need Mr. Fallen with the Bucky too.
Yes. But to be fair, the Waylay tech, you know, it's a good map for it. I want him to be able to take ramps with ease. I want the util to be on point, to be supported. This is a good change, I think.
Speaking about utility, I think that Crystallic was doing actually a good job, especially when things started to get difficult and they needed to find answers to what Gentlemen was doing. He was pretty proactive in that, so I want to keep seeing that in that map.
I mean, Bambino was right. I don't think any of us could have guessed that Jet2J was going to play Waylay. Mitch and Tom, what do you make of this?
Well, Tom, you seemed ecstatic. I think you've been asking Bambino for this for a while, right? So how do you feel now, getting your cake and getting to take a little bite?
I think what I said to him specifically is I never want to see that again. So it's going to be interesting. Like, you've taken, in my opinion, one of the best Sentinels in the region and kind of done what I will call the Nats, which is just like, oh, he's insane, let's stick him on the duel list. It's not something I particularly wanted to see. I guess it's just for lack of other players able to do that. Like, you want to play double dive, you don't really have, well, I guess a CNET anymore, and so you're going to throw in someone who has crazy aim and crazy mechanics that should be able to do it. I'll be honest, I would prefer not to, but I guess if you're not running the Sentinel, it kind of makes sense. Like, you're going to move away from that. I think Baha will be capable of playing the Viper. Maybe he wouldn't have been able to do it on the other side. And of course, for a raise, Yoru with Martin and Bippo, excited for that.
Oh, flash already out as an immediate push from mates.
There you go.
Gives them back control of bottom ramp. Bippo, good to get a 3 pieces now. Cristalli will be left all alone. A 1 versus 2. He needed to win this. The last map to keep them alive had to be an ace. A little bit of an easier task this time on the pistols. Both opponents, no shields. A shot to the head, going to be enough. This close. He's managed to slip behind that box. Dodging the timings for now. Wherever he goes, it's just one player. The thing is, you don't want them to crunch you afterwards if they're able to group up, but with no information, Cristalli doesn't know where to go, where to take this fight. 50 seconds, he's got plenty of time.
He was hoping someone would give the game away, and unfortunately he's the one to do just that. Will be mates to convert themselves another pistol round, and yeah, this is sort of the terrifying prospect with the Bippo Martin. Like, you'd have those sort of supportive flashes that set up. There was a C's in the mix as well, which was just perfect. Left the players absolutely screwed. And although it was a quieter individual game from Bippo in the last one, you also have to bear in mind his role was to dive into the site head first, find information, and try and fly back without being shot in the face. So this time, with a bit more supportive util, I'm excited to see what he's going to do, and yeah, I think Martin has some of the best Yoru utility, if not the best, in our region. He's fantastic at it.
Yeah, I mean, I won't measure him by flashing through a smoke. I think most people can do that relatively efficiently, but great flash nonetheless.
He didn't blind his teammate.
Yeah. There's going to be so much more behind that as well.
Oh, hello.
Going down, and Martin forced off the angle. Going to be retrieved on top ramp if they can get past Starzo. It's already making it very difficult indeed. That seems buying a little bit more time. The problem, if Mr. Fallen can manage to catch him off guard, a kill on this side, a weapon retrieved, it's a spanner in the works. And now the spike can go all the way back to B. That is huge from Mr. Fallen.
Spams. Bear in mind, Mini was one without a gun. Only a pistol in this round, so although the shields make it a little bit more uneven, I like this. He's just waiting next to the TP in case somebody attempts to take it. A little bit risky, putting out that smoke, but maybe trying to bait the fact that he hasn't already got this far, and it doesn't work. Starzo a third kill already with the Spectre. Mini perfectly placed. A warning shot fired, but Baha
30 seconds
not
left.
quick enough to heed that warning. And while Cristalli, this one's about as hard as the last one. You got yourself a 1v3. You've only got a classic. And not this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, another big multi-kill. Starzo the one to find that. And for Mates, this was a very big multi-kill from Starzo. That could have been 2 players up top ramp, weapon retrieved, man advantage, and a lot of map control going their way. And with just a few seconds later, that pick coming in towards the B site, that could have been the end of the round. Starzo has bailed them out of a bad situation. And yes, they had some weaknesses going into that, but coming out of the round, they've still got their 3 Bulldogs to work with. I mean, altogether, a remarkable recovery on what could have been a massive early stumble for Gentlemates.
Well, yeah, that's sort of the fun thing with Starzo. Obviously, I think, like, if we hadn't seen Ascension, we would have had a lot more questions about his sort of individual level. Because even though they didn't win many games, even though he was playing with, like, a weird quasi-mix roster because they weren't allowed to bring half the team at Ascension, he was the top-rated player in the whole event. And that's including all the Turkish players, by the way, the ones that won. So it's definitely showing that that level is there. And I think there's already been some pretty important high-impact kills from him throughout this series so far.
He was also, like, when you're leading and you're as ill as he was at some points, like, it's not easy to do, man. Like, that brain fog really starts to kick in. Your energy goes down much quicker in the day. And I think for him to put up that kind of performance with all those things considered is remarkable. And I mean, it's no surprise that he ends up picked up by a roster in the VCT. And I think for Mates in particular, like I said at the start of this series, I really feel like it's a team that could be that dark horse because they've got that perfect blend of experience and the fire of youth of these players who've been battling for years and years now to make it to this level. And it's their chance to debut alongside minds like himself and Mini. Duelists like Martin. That's not gone the way that they wanted it to, but hey, no punish.
Yeah, the Spike's going to be crossing over. It seems like almost more than happy to play the retake for the defensive side. Smoke's going back up. Yedaje in the corner. It's a little bit of a gamble with that, how some of the weapons could just look to overwhelm. They've got that late lurk attempting to come through in the form of Baha.
Oh, the decoy's drawn the eye for that first fight. But it is Baha that can pull them back out of this. Mates rushing in, numbers by their side, but time, unbeknownst to them, is against them. The wrap finally cut down as the clock keeps on ticking. It is Baha inside of main, a 1v1, the defuse underway, now to half, but he'll land the shot just in time for FUT. A much needed round on the board early on, but it comes with a struggle.
Yeah, I was a little bit nervous because it seemed like he switched his plan halfway through. Yeah. I was going up to wrap around behind them, then started sprinting back. I think just realizing where the plant spot actually was. And once they were all into the site, his flank didn't hold anywhere near as much value from the heavens. Definitely still came close, and especially with a bonus round in play from the side of Gentlemates, it's not as damning as you might think. In fact, Martin already investing into the sniper, looking to try and fight some light shields. There is only one player with light shields though, so it's not going to be insta-kill, but still will be a lot of damage.
Yeah, especially with things like the grenade you've got to work with. It can be useful, but with Yedaje already up in their face, they weren't ready for that kind of aggression to come out. Yedaje's second is going to be found, and the pressure now sitting on the shoulders of those side players as Mini steps into elbow, helping out that side hold. Giving Starzo a man by his side, but leaving Glyph alone, perhaps the one to be isolated. As you can see, FUT looking deep into the spawn, looking for a battle on screens, maybe not even expecting a player to be this late to the party. Glyph hasn't seen him, but it doesn't look like he's been seen, and in fact, it's the perfect position! Oh no! Baz gotten away with a freebie, 50 seconds, spike down, and this round now looking doable.
this leaves a lot more issues in terms of angles, and there's been a few whiffs here and there, but a man who's not been whiffing all the way through the series is left up to Mini. He didn't win the last 1v1, but he will win this one. Lightning doesn't strike twice with the Baha versus Mini fight. It's 1 apiece, but it's 3-1 for Mates.
You can see he was calm and collected in that fight, and often when you're in that 1v2, that 1v1, the nerves get to you, Tom. When you're up against an opponent, you think might have the upper hand on you, but well, we heard after the last map what Mini thinks of his opponent, so he felt like he was fully in control, no doubt.
Yeah. Say it once, okay. Say it twice. Well, you really believe it. The third time, I was like, okay, man, you're pushing your luck. But then again, we played all of them, so that's fine.
We did, back to back.
Here we go. Yetterjay with the Bucky. It's not Mr. Farland, so I'm not believing in an ace. Can he get one? No, his teammate died.
Yeah, they've shot him through the refract. Unlucky for FUT.
Here we go.
This is the chance to outband it.
First bandit ace.
No better man for the job, but unfortunately, Mr. Fallen is not going to be getting too much done as he has fallen inside the vents. And FUT 3 versus 5, a Bookie, a Sheriff, and a Classic. A ragtag bunch, that's for certain.
Sounds like the start of a bad joke.
It does. Yeah, and they are about to walk straight into heaven where there's 2 players waiting, rifles in hand. Good stun. Might have a bit of space, but it's the judge. On the other side causing problems. Hold on. Yetterjay, a little bit more. He's already got one with the Bucky.
No charges.
There's no way he uses his ult at this stage of the game, but damage is what they're looking for, and the timing couldn't have been worse.
Down B.
It's a little bit unlucky. Yetterjay will try as he might, but he is completely surrounded at this point. Okay, there's one. There's a second as well. Looking for a little more. It got dangerous. As I said, he's definitely got the mechanics to back up the choice, but we're yet to see too much from it so far. It's still 4-1, but a little bit of extra damage at least. That's been the thing. Like, Mates have been winning a lot of the rounds, even in the last map as well, but not a lot of them have been clean. They've been taking casualties as they go. The economy definitely not built to any point that's dangerous just yet.
That was style. You see that hair flip?
Yeah.
Ah, do it, Tom. Go on. Yes! Oh, he killed it. He killed it as well.
It being the hair.
Every single one in his head. 4-1.
Oh,
Deep push from Bippo, and the showstopper lands. Finds its mark on Mr. Fallen. And that early fight, well, they look to punish it on the attack side, but Mates had already given up the space. They are safely back, pushing down through mid as well. Starzo's looking for a fight, and he's caught Baha. That's a massive duel for the side of Gentlemates, who seem to keep on compiling those advantages. One after another, finding its way into their hands, with Yetterjay, the man who had all eyes on him to start this out. Well, he has got another big task. He missed the ace in the previous round. Well, this will be a 4K, and not quite as impressive, but
got to get there first.
See if he can get it done.
Yeah, spike down, not going to help. Mid being watched as well, so there's not really any chance for a flank. They are just jump spotting. You can see how safe, how drilled Mates are looking to play this, and even going to add in a third man to the pile.
I have the
spike. Oh dear, not going to get away with that one. And well, another for Mates. I'm loving their defensive setups. I think, firstly, the utility that's coming out from Starzo, I think it's been perfect every single time. Like, someone's getting revealed. I think half the team was revealed in that one. But also then, like, look, immediately, straight through, obliterated. And then you have that combo of the 2 players in the form of Martin and Bippo. And I think that's going to be a duo that we sort of thoroughly enjoy throughout this year, as they just have so much flair, but it's just irritating. Like, you can see FUT every single time they're being caught off guard and having to try and react, like using an ultimate just to react. The second they do that, a smoke's up, and then you have to gamble. Do we run through a smoke without the knowledge? And it's just not worth it in the end.
Yeah, and I think this is the thing, you know, going back to the previous map, the 13-8, you have 2 aces for FUT in there that you can already, and one of them led to another round afterwards, so we can almost take 3 off for that. And then you think back to how many of the rounds that they ended up finding the success in. Was it an individual stepping up? Then you look at Mates and the rounds they won, and how many of Mates' round wins felt like it was a niche play like that. Because a majority felt like really well-drilled Valorant being played. Complex ideas where one player losing sight of what the game plan is, losing sight of the timings of the round, will see the whole round unravel. and yet they played that playbook, that difficult to manage playbook. The one we've seen many teams come in and try, but they fail. They look silly doing it in the first couple weeks. It takes time. Well, they've come in on week 1, and they have been so far one of my favorite teams to watch. I'm thinking about the end of last year.
This is game
otherwise
number 2.
It will be out of 4. But I'm even thinking about the end of last year, and I think in terms of the quality of Valorant being played.
This is my favorite game to watch for the second half of the day.
But the quality of the game being played by mates overall, all jokes aside, is very enjoyable to watch. And if this is what you're coming into week 1 with, I am ecstatic for the possibilities for Gentlemates this year.
Yeah, I think again, Paco and Kundi clearly doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to see 11. He is going to escape. Oh. It's only pistols this time, and a Bucky.
11, I didn't even see 10.
Nice. Now who's the lunatic?
Toxins going up.
I thought that's how his name was. I'm sorry.
This is going to be a difficult one. Again, you've got that sniper in play just to go up against the light or no shields. There's some ultimates for FUT. If they do manage to get into the late round, the Viper's Pit would be nice, the Showstopper. But it's getting to a point where that's worth using. And as of right now, mates are giving them nothing. We're getting to the 30-second mark, and this will be the first point of contact. And as you can see, it's just going to be the escape Showstopper actually being utilized. It's been popped, they've thrown it. And they've got a clear Starzo on the side. Do they expect him to be? And they do. Nice work from Yedege. The shot gives them the sight, and I wonder if they now, there's the Viper's Pit.
Spike planted.
You have to in this scenario, and now that's useless having an outlaw on the retake. These players going to be hiding inside that Toxin. Nice shot by Zeus as well. Jeez, how is this the round that they come in not just winning, but dominating in flawless fashion? That is unbelievable. A Thrifty. The Zen Zone gets robbed of their flawless. The mates get robbed of their round. That is a remarkable display. And I think even putting that Showstopper in, Tom, I'm going to be honest, I was calling him an idiot. I thought that was a crazy commitment for a round like this. But Showstopper to get space, to get boots on the ground, and if you get down there and you've got a pit to work with, it's risky. It's a big amount of econ to put into it. But when it works out, you're right back in the game. Yes, the Arc Raiders emote, I like it.
No, I think it was once they spotted Bippo, that was the moment. The only danger was really if they cleared out Starzo from the site. If he again got a multi-frag, he could have ruined it. But I think FUT have been in sort of desperate need of a bit of wind in the sails, something to get them going. So that's a huge round to win. And just look at the economy damage it's done. As said, mates, although they're winning rounds, a lot of them haven't been particularly clean. They're always taking casualties. And because of that, they're not able to invest too much into this one. Losing that mid-fight leaves 2 standing. But the 2 looking like they might be in the right place at the right time. Again, if they can make this one costly. Mr. Farlin, though. Oh, I think he's been seen. Yeah, a bit of a mistake. And now the other 2. Do they continue to push forward into this one? It looks like they do.
They know the players are here. That is a risky decision. Cliff not able to get the reload off earlier.
Spike down.
Bullet in the barrel just in time. Snakebite will take him down.
Oh, no.
Oh, well done by Baha. Low HP, not going to let him stand in there for long. 5-3 now for FUT. Winning out a low buy round where they dump ultimates in, which I think has been something they have done a lot. Looking at the last map, there were some big ult dumps that managed to get them on the board, but now backing it up as well versus the anti-eco. Gets incredibly close though. That is worrying. It is a chance to get back into the game, but despite how close that scoreline is, this is where mates could run back away with it as the rifles come out.
Baha must have breathed the biggest sigh of relief, because you almost lose a round like that and you're like, oh no, I need to win this clutch. And then just the snakebite does the job. It's like, oh nice, sweet, no pressure. Back in with the investment. Interesting that they actually have the operator and then the Viper's Pit. Kind of skewed the vision of Martin, but even still, they managed to get the opener Mini under serious pressure, and actually they've just looked to try and bypass it. Starzo quickly filling in the gaps, knows he needs to cover his teammate, or maybe he doesn't. Bippo will claim both lives, and well, now the backup has arrived, even a little bit of a flex at the end. It's an in-zone flawless. This time they get the call out as mates win that one nice and clean.
Again, looking at the ideas for mates, I love seeing it. Viper's pick goes down, but the plan was just to bait them into Martin. He looks for the early fight, doesn't see it. Pick goes up, and the response usually is to quickly close that space in, dump utility into the pit, and get either into vent or into heaven. Take some of that space they're defending for free with one player out of their hands. If you try to do that, it means you're walking into the op. And you did as well. He just missed his shot. A rare miss from Martin. But a good idea, again, to set up these early fights that just give mates a little bit of an advantage. And they're getting that little advantage at the start of a lot of rounds. That really starts to add up, especially when players are hitting their shots too.
A lot of the time you look at players coming into the league, and I definitely think in the last map, individually, maybe Bip had a little bit of a tough start, but there's definitely no lack of confidence here. A competent aimer, and while for FUT, they're again starting to fall quite far behind. A clean round, as I said, that's the one thing that mates hadn't really had, was just getting themselves that economy built up. Well, they have an extra purchase for the next no matter what, and it's going to be the same control being battled for. That's not the start they were looking for, though. That's Baha got already, no Viper Wall.
Oh, the deep play, looking the wrong way in heavy traffic. Bippo runs Yedije out of the round. A 5 versus 3 now. The numbers waning on that attacking side. I actually thought Zeus was going to be
still here.
pulled in, but he makes it around that corner towards the B site. Main not in their hands, nor is Spawn. I mean, mates have got full control to work with him for FUT after the plant. Where did they go? For now, holding on to heaven control, but is that enough? They definitely won't go towards the spawn. Did someone think about safe haven inside of B main? Because it looks like that's the only thing left for FUT to take. They'll clear it, but Glyph knows they'll want an angle to fight from. He gives them that space. He'll play the late game, and the timing is perfect. He's just now moving towards main, swinging wide, and he'll take down one. Mr. Fallen left alone. Really nicely done. And again, it's not just the game plan for mates, it's every player understanding the role. If Glyph peeks out there, this round's in jeopardy again, but it's textbook, man. They're so fun to watch because it feels like they just don't make the silly mistakes that we've seen so many times, even from incredibly experienced players. And, you know, we've already talked about Glyph first time on that stage.
Yeah, no, it's just clever. Like, you know that they're going to re-clear it. You know as well that they probably left someone to watch mid. So, okay, if there's someone mid, they can't have walked down mid and gone all the way around because somebody's watching that. So then you wait for the rest of your team to push in. Everybody focuses elsewhere, and you have a backstab. Like, it's textbook. It's someone who has drilled a plan and executed it to perfection. It is rare you see that from a team that, well, it is brand new, other than Mini. All right. Well, Yedije's not going to be too happy about that one. A spam that opens up. Again, it's nothing particularly good economically, so not much expected in this round from FUT.
It could be false credit we're giving them, actually, with a shot like that. Maybe the reason Glyph knew to hide was because Bippo's wall hacking. It's all adding up, right? All makes sense. Nice stuff by Zeus.
Okay, he needs to turn them back on.
Yeah, get those walls off.
Yeah, he was like, we're winning too easily. I've got,
No, I think it's a tactical choice. Give Mini the confidence
boost. This is a joke for anybody watching.
Yeah, it's not great. Crystalli taken down, but Zeus with the trade gets Showstopper on. Can he land the shot, though, with a player up top? It's Glyph from the side. 2 versus 2 now. Spike down on the floor. This is madness. It's carnage, and it's Mr. Fallen on the ground that sends Baha back in the other direction and gives Martin the tee-up of dreams. A shot in the backside of Baha to put 8-3 on the board. Gentlemates running away with this first half.
Yeah, it's a shame because, again, they're doing a lot of damage with these pistols. They're able to get a lot done from a disadvantageous position, but doesn't really matter too much. They're not getting them over the line. They're not getting the punish. Only once was mates struggling with the economy, and they immediately managed to recover, bounce back, and now they have 8 rounds on the board on that defensive side. And especially going in with the double dive to the attack, it's not like we're expecting things to get much worse in the second half for them. An early dash up. Operator, actually a bonus operator purchase for Starzo. He played Duelist in the past, you know? Oh, did Zeus see the barrel? No, he didn't. No, he didn't! Oh! It's such a small pixel, you can understand him missing it, but that is a crucial piece of information that has cost him his life.
I'll give you the silver lining. They've got a long timeout after this at the halftime, so time to emotionally recover. They're going to need a reset after that. Nade does damage. Sends players back and out of the round as Mini finds one, but that's all he gets. Opposed Mr. Fallen under the radar. Leaves Starzo alone. 1 versus 2 as he finds a rifle. 19 shots loaded and ready to go, but it's Cristalli to nail Starzo and put 8-4 on the board. It is a very dim glow in the distance at the end of the tunnel, but hope not yet extinguished for FUT.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of moments where you look at this with FUT and go, yeah, it's a silver lining, but it did feel like a bit of a mistake on an angle not being checked. It's definitely going to have to be a tough comeback for them in the next half.
Look who is with us in a Berlin tonight, the Gentlemates boys. We have Squeezie, we have Brooks, we have Beyaz. Welcome back, first of all. Bon retour, les frérots. Ça fait plaisir de vous avoir ici.
Hasn't seen him, but it doesn't look like he's been seen. Right back in the
every single time, like someone's getting revealed.
That really that we've seen breaks out into song. I love that. Never change, brother. Well, Gentlemates, 8-4, and it's no surprise they're singing in Squeezie's booth. You know, it's been a while since we've seen mates look this good, and usually it stops in the second half. This is their chance to put not just a win on the board, not just to put the right foot forward starting this season, but to do it in a 2-0 fashion up against a seasoned squad like FUT. That is very much the start to the season that mates were looking for so long.
Ooh, they've still got to be careful though. Moving into that attack side, and already Zeus has claimed his first victim. It will be Bippo. Again, had a fantastic half, a lot of individual moments, which, as I said, were somewhat missing from that first map, even though he was definitely a part of the machine that was mates. I mean, he lurking around, Mr. Fallen. I didn't expect him to swing that one, but he's done a little bit of additional damage, and now they look to try and walk in towards this A site. There are still multiple players here. He's just walked past.
Oh, Mini caught in the side. Numbers start to flood in, spike up close. Starzo's got to wait for the numbers to back him up. The player stuck inside the smoke on 17 HP ain't going to be doing too much. It's Glyph on the late wraparound. Starzo picks his moment to strike! Himself and Martine have given them hope. Martine gets out as Glyph goes in and left into the hands of Zeus. A classic recovered and the shots will not land. Martine with 2 big kills on 17 HP. Starzo striking just in time on that A site. And mates They're extending that lead now 9-4 with what should be an eco from FUT. It could be the beginning of the end.
Yeah. I wonder if my request for the guy's heart rate monitor ever went through, because I think it would be peaking right now. That has got to be infuriating. Like, you basically get a couple of freebie openers, like Mini walking into the side, and you go, okay, pistol wrapped up, done, dusted. And then it's again, silly fights, individual moments lost, and a huge boost to an already very strong start to this series from Mates. It's not what FUT needed in this moment.
Flash pops nade as the flash fades, and well, that could have been a kill if Baha didn't react as quickly as he did. Come fly with me as we move towards the site. In goes Bippo, out goes Bippo. Glyph is down, and it's the Pistols reigning supreme, at least in the first few fights, but there's much more to come, and it's Martin again looking to bail them out. Starzo finding another, Yedege and Zeus all alone, and the rifles are down on the site. They won't be easily recovered at all. But the plant coming through, the nade won't quite, well, actually it does stop it. It's going to buy some time, but what do you do with it?
Martin, somewhat isolated, but he is going to win that fight, and it comes down to just one player standing. He kills the man in the back, unfortunately. It's very, very close. It's not clean once again, but I don't think they'll care too much. Well, it is a 10th round.
Very close indeed. I think, was it 46 HP? I mean, we're talking the Bandit, one shot at that range to take that player down. Very, very thin margin, and for FUT, I think that's only going to build the frustration.
Would have won that without a captain.
So who would you put out a captain in instead of?
Oh, obviously Zeus.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
He always gave me primary duelist
the energy. Roll swap of dreams.
Yeah, why not?
Let's have it.
Seen it played smokes.
It wouldn't be the craziest thing. Well, down goes Yedege. Yeah, I was just going to say, doesn't want to stick around for all too long.
Is he going to do it again? He is. He's going to.
He hasn't got a refract. Surely not.
There he is.
Planted.
He's a madman. Absolute nutcase. Bear in mind, the other team are the ones with the low buy here. Completely unnecessary, but hey, got them an even bigger advantage. Risks taken, will they pay off? I thought Martin was about to double down.
Can't use that to concealment.
Instead, mad advantage stays. Glyph would take a fight, but he's lost the battle, and this is not the gun you want. He doesn't have a nade, but if he throws the nade, then they know where he is, and then he has to try and dive in with a Bucky while they're defusing. If he wins this, I think we just give up on the game.
He actually might have won that if he hit the nade. If he'd forced him off, that's a bookie fight up close probably. And who knows? Who knows how that one ends up? But the nade missed, so, you know, that dream dies there and then. Another round on the board for FUT. This is the problem, man. We need to see them consistently put up, because I looked at the last map as well. We talked about Abyss. It was somewhere that... I see that man pop up on my screen. I know I need to be quiet. But it's somewhere that we know FUT have been able to put rounds up. They got that 13-8, but a lot of those rounds were big ult dumps. They do come in with a showstopper at least, but I want to see them win that round-to-round play. So far, Mates have seemed stronger, and with double the rounds on the board, it's no surprise they're favorites to close this one out.
Here we go. Martin's on an adventure. Oh, that's a very different adventure. Oh, he's taking his time, and maybe just trying to give him a false sense of hope. Still, early trade back, spike going down, and just look at the position of Bippo. Why would you even expect anybody to be here? Deep in control, now goes swinging back. I think he's even expecting Zeus to be here, and he wins that fight as well. This guy is having a map and a half. 11-5. They are running away with it once again, and you mentioned it, FUT have been a one-and-done squad pretty much all the way through the series.
Yeah, again, I think the exception to that is when they face off against Pistols, and that follow-up round was 1v1 with extremely low HP. So, you know, there's not a lot of hope in that sense, but, you know...
Nice!
Actually, no, I don't have anything else to add to that. There's not a lot of hope. It has to be a miracle run, a turnaround, a complete change of pace and pattern for FUT coming into round 17, or this game is very quickly going to be over. That's the start we're looking for. Mr. Fall and wallbang headshot onto Martin. Well, if we can get a bit more of that.
Wallbang headshot in a smoke as well.
It does look like it, yeah.
Unless he plays that afterwards. Yesje's also then just won a fight on a player flying through the air. Maybe they should just play the pistols. Maybe that was the thing that Bambino was really excited for. It's just how they play low by rounds. Zeus has then managed to fly across and get one. This is one of the best rounds we may have seen from them thus far. They didn't even have weapons half the time. They've blocked each other. That's not great.
Please don't throw.
I'm nervous. Starzo should be dead from heaven, right?
He has to be.
They've got the spike, so they don't even need to face him at all. But I guess for the player on site, it would be nice to sort of bail him out a little bit. But he's been able to escape, so there really isn't any reason for an angle to be given over to Starzo.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm worried about, though. 40 seconds. Cristalli's in a 1v1, 60 HP. If that corner's cleared by Starzo,
it's not.
Very, very close. But he looked away at just the right moment. Giving Cristalli the kill and giving Mini a near impossible task. He has been unbelievable so far. But this has to be where the legend ends. And it does die in round 17. A thrifty success for FUT. Many more rounds need to follow, though.
Yeah. They just win. There we go. Smoke going. Okay, he did at least see him. He didn't see his head, but he managed to hit it. And then just a lot of peculiar fights. They've been able to take over the line.
Just unlucky. It's okay.
And you know what? I kind of agree. Like, mates have been able to stabilize pretty much all the way through the match. It hasn't looked like any of these rounds have really phased them. They're now going to be on a low by themselves, and this is looking like a B rush if ever I've seen one. The other thing as well is an orb here would get them. I'm going to guess the showstopper. They could go for the Cosmic Divide, but I'm hoping they don't.
Well, it's not the orb. It's a straight-up fight that gets the showstopper online, but Bippo's already gone. God. This is getting worrying.
This is like Cage Valorant.
A 4 versus 3. Rifles recovered for Gentlemates. Heaven controlled, held onto by Mini. And now FUT with an operator and an ultimate on Yenege. They're walking forward, Tom. I don't know why they're walking forward, but it looked like they want to send that op in. At least Yenege leaves and carries it forward. Yeah. They've got credits. They can afford to throw one rifle away here to try to do damage, but even then, I mean, mates, they've got the money, especially with this being a low buy round. It's not much point in throwing the rifle away.
This round definitely has not gone to plan. A lot of individual fights won. A Stinger able to get far more value than it maybe should have done, and for mates, yeah. This is the thing, they're completely unfazed by anything FUT does because they're able to do it straight back and return. 12-6, one away from an even more dominant performance than what we saw on the last map, and I just have no faith that FUT are going to be able to string 6 rounds in a row. Like, it just, we've not seen anything that made me believe that that could happen on this map or the last.
I love you guys. Good job.
Well, the energy's certainly there.
He's chilling.
He is. He's vibing. Full vibes. Well, one step in the right direction for mates so far. Now, defeating that 12th round yet again. A challenge that they faced in almost all their games.
They already did it in the last match.
Last year. Remember the last stage mates played in? They started out against FUT and they lost. Now a chance for revenge for the banner, at least. More so than the banner men. 6 chances to close this out and a 4v4 to start it off. 1:15 on the clock, and mates decide after early A hit that they are going to take this all the way around the world, back to the B site. And the question now is, where does Mr. Fallen go? If he sticks around in this position, he's going to have a lot of players coming right around that corner, but instead he goes to mid. They may now just walk right past him.
Yeah, but they may, on the other side, believe that this is going to be an A hit still. Because there hasn't been anything, they haven't gone through mid. Most teams would not go back through the spawn, so he's clueless. Look, he's going in for a flank. He's like, guys, I've got them locked in. If they come through mid, no one's going to see me. If they go through sewers, I'm in the corner. Guys, there's no way they can be B. I have everything locked down. Don't worry about it. The only way would be if they went through the spawn. But there's no way they did that. Why would they go through the spawn?
If they shift walk through the spawn, because I hear them otherwise.
What lunatics would just walk through the spawn for the entirety of the round? Guys, have you seen anything on A? Have you seen? I'll put another smoke down, guys. I'll put smoke down. If they go through the smoke now, we're ready. They think they've got us, but I've got them. Guys, the spike got planted on B.
And see, here's the problem. Even now you go, well, Mr. Fallen could get behind B main so early, right? Well,
yeah, look at Glyph.
If you're Gentle Mates, you think that they'll push mid. You don't think it's the B player coming back. You think it's the mid guy getting ahead of it. And instead, he's getting his head ripped off. Really nice play by Glyph again, standing in the same corner. There is another player coming, though. Yetajay is so damn late, but it gives him a chance to catch them off guard if there's anybody left for him to back up. He is so late at this point, and now he's being spotted because there's 4 players left. Mates covering every angle, winning every fight, and they will find the series 2-0. A remarkable start to the year for Gentle Mates. As FUT go down, the question is how far can the Mates go? Playing like this, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, for sure. It was a streak of 9 losses in a row for the team of last year, and that has been ended in one game here. Starting things off with a bang, breaking any curses to be had, and doing it in